we're back. It's the start of another cold week, but we are hanging on in there. Lots happening, lots going on. Got a busy week ahead of us. Lots planned. We're going to have to just see where the week takes us. Lots of internal meetings, lots of pushing things forward, trying to develop, build us for a better tomorrow. Biggest frustration at the moment is recruitment, believe it or not. You hear a lot of this online around, people looking for jobs and people not employing, and we are actively employing. We're trying to fill quite a few roles at the moment, 3 or 4, and actually it's proving really bloody difficult to find the right people. Now, don't get me wrong, we are extremely fussy. I believe that's one of the reasons that we've continued to survive and thrive over the last few years, is because we've got fussier on the quality of and the right fit, DNA fit as we call it, a cultural fit as to who we want to be a part of our team, so that we don't degrade the quality of what I like to think of as it's like having a really good football team. You've got to make sure you've got great people, not just a nice community of people in the changing room, but actually that perform out on the field when it really matters, because otherwise we're going to be relegated. So we got really fussy with that, and I think as a consequence of that, it's been really, really tough at the moment to hire and find great people. I mean, Mitch was telling me earlier that, this volume does come through, but it's so difficult to find people that really we feel gel with us and are the right fit. So it's proving difficult, but see how the week goes. There's a few more conversations coming this week, I believe, a few second interviews, which is exciting. We just don't want to get it wrong, and that is so difficult. We've got it wrong so many times over the years that we don't want to do that this year. So we're being extra cautious at making sure we don't degrade things for our team. But yeah, off now to a meeting to get out of the cold, see what the week's got in store. Let's go. We are having a bit of a production operations day today, so love these days, getting in with the team. Been here since first thing, went along to the team morning meeting, which is great to see all the improvements that are being made, all the projects that we're working on, just the day-to-day operations, and you can really feel when you're not here from sort of one week to the next how much we're advancing on a week-on-week basis, and these improvements and our systems and processes are getting better and better. Lots of room for improvement. We've got loads of little niggles that we've come up where with things like making sure we get EORI numbers off customers prior to processing the order. Basic things that you think should just be second nature, but they're not. So we are, filling up the book with loads of little ideas, little concepts and things that we can go away and try and implement with other departments. And yeah, just getting stuck in, seeing the team and seeing what I can do to help. That's what we're doing.
Do you know what I think it is, Ben? I think it's
It's wonky at the top, isn't it?
I think it might be this that's tripping you.
So I can't work out, because if I stand it up next to the calipers, it's the tiniest bit, which is
mic?
fine, but as soon as you hold it up, it looks on the wall.
Is that the newest one?
I believe so. There's loads on there, but they're all very similar. And
So that one was the first one that you showed me, which is very much going that way, whereas that one's not as wonky compared to that one.
so I'm like,
You had the calipers check it, and
So I think you might have
there's
just
like
not quite
a
dropped
tiny
it in
bit
properly.
out on the one.
I was going to say, is it, if we were...
Well, you're not going to get it
is that where you've not
perfect,
like...
No.
but it's like
the,
it still looks wrong when you hold it up.
Yeah, I see.
That one was really...
I'll just get him to do one more. See if he can straighten it just one. Well, or just get him to do it there.
Just make sure he's really pushing that spring, like you do.
Other machine. It's a fibre.
But then other than that, I reckon, just like you say, if it's point of a thing
I'll do one more and just get
and then
So he did a couple of them.
He's done one here.
And then he generally could not get it off, and then you still see the shadow underneath. And then because they were printed at the same time, he's basically just said that's not coming off.
feel like even throwing them away, it's just annoying. Isn't it?
Yeah, this is the whole stack that he did do with
Yeah,
these
I
ones.
see. Fair enough. Right, so they will come.
It's just so thick, it won't just leave
Yeah.
like that mark, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you get that.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like they're a goodie bag at flipping high school or something with our logo.
Well, I think going back to what Barbara said about doing a charity gift, there's no reason why they
turn
can't.
away a power bank, charge their phone, are they?
No.
Last minute.
Yeah, I think.
So I'll put it with the charity stuff.
I think put that with the charity stuff. Have you got a trolley for that at the moment? Then have you a
It's under
charity?
no spare desk in it.
Can we not make a trolley? Because I think stuff
We'll
is
do,
under
yeah,
the
but I was
desk
waiting
is-
until the Roland's were out of the way.
Oh
so
yeah,
I didn't
alright.
really have enough.
Yeah, all right, and then we'll transfer it into a trolley, and then
Yeah,
we'll do
100%.
that sort of flea market type thing out the front at some point.
She was
We got
quite
them-
excited about that one.
Yeah, I thought that was quite.
We got
a good
those
idea, to be
bags
fair.
though as well. The ones that came from out.
Yeah, exactly.
They
So
went down
as
to it as well. So you could do that.
Yeah, we can get all that boxed up. Okay, no, that's fine. I just thought I'd mention it. But
No,
if we don't think
100%,
we don't think a whiteboard's really required,
I don't
we'll
think
stick
so.
with the communication.
Because it's
and the way
gone the
they're
next
doing
day, isn't
Yeah,
it?
That's
that looks good.
pretty
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. I'd say. Yeah, let's go with that, mate. I think.
I'll say if they look like that, you're fine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Ben.
So why is Ben having to help do that?
Christian.
Yeah.
So because he's going to be probably going into that generalist role,
Right.
and he is very clued up on engraving.
Yeah.
It just helps Christian, basically. One, Christian learns a lot from Ben because Ben originally did it.
Right.
So it's like extra training for Christian.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't quite have the confidence sometimes or the know-how to fix it.
Right.
Or he's like, it can't be fixed.
Yeah.
And I'll say, oh, have you tried this? He'll always come up with a reason why
Yeah,
he
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
Whereas with Ben, he doesn't do that because Ben knows, Christian knows that he knows
quite
how it
inquisitive,
works.
he'll go and yeah.
So he'll just go out and he'll just show
Well, my only
Christian and
worry
fix
is
it.
a reliance, whether he becomes so reliant, and then obviously it's all right today because he's obviously not got any much work on.
No.
I suppose that he's just a peaks and troughs. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's
But
not.
most of the time, Christian doesn't need him. It's like
Yeah.
a couple of times a week. And they've been working together to set up jigs
Oh, that's good.
so that everything is, Christian can put it in at 0-0 and it's just perfect
Oh,
every
really?
time.
Wow.
So Ben's been working
automating
with
it.
him to fix that, to automate it.
Wow, no,
Just
that's
so
great.
that Christian, one, feels like he's got more of support,
Yeah.
and two, we get that automation so everything's
Yeah.
a lot quicker. And it's brought down the run
Actually.
times in that area by
Has
like
it?
half.
Has it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
on some products it's about the same, but most it's
Oh, that's brilliant.
increased it so we can get more through the CO2.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, Tony will be happy then.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But we've got it all on the thing that Ben made.
And Tony's got this, hasn't he? This new runtime calculator
Yeah.
for the.
So you literally just put whatever you want in, the size
He's
of
a
it,
smart cookie, that boy, isn't he?
and how many, it'll tell you exactly how many
Yeah, lovely.
hours.
That's
But-
brilliant.
So it gives me a gauge of Christian as well, because he keeps telling me it takes a lot longer than it
But now
does.
there's actually a criteria to follow.
He's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a criteria and he's got
Yeah.
set, and he knows how to do that as well,
Yeah, fantastic.
because it's been done with him.
Yeah.
He's been very much involved in getting all
Oh,
of
okay,
these
so he's been
tests
part
done.
of it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
So his knowledge is growing.
Yeah, brilliant. That's
Yeah.
great. Happy days. Heading in the right direction, Jazz.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, I thought that it would be worth us trying to go back to what we did before, where we sort of meet off-site, because I think that in the day there's too many other distractions, and I think it does you good to have a walk, get out, get the air before, and then we sit down and for a bit of peace and quiet, undisturbed. Obviously the other meetings are good, but I do
it
think
stops us skipping it, because one of us, we just assume the other one's going to be here, so one of us gets down here and it's like,
you need to make sure someone's here. So I think it works for us. I think we should try and get back to doing this as our weekly meeting off-site, because I just think the last couple of weeks back from January, we've ended up having a stand-up meeting in the middle of the chaos, or we've sort of neither of us have prioritised it. So I think if we can get back to it, it'll make a big difference. But I think the difference is really noticeable over there.
Yeah,
the culture,
100%.
the atmosphere, the environment, the fact they're now all in uniform. You can notice the efforts are paying off.
Yeah, I mean that uniform was, I think it worked out at like £18 per person to give them 2 jumpers and a fleece, or 3 jumpers and a fleece, because it was cheap stuff. But the difference it makes, they all look like they're at work.
I just think it's getting the place proud, where if we were to bring clients round, we can start to bring customers around and show them the facility. We can start to, it just feels nice to even walk in there.
It feels like we've been back longer, but we've only been back a month, not even a month, and 3
But
weeks.
that's what
and I've not
excites
even
me.
been here 3 weeks.
But that's
So I
what
was in
excites me,
Germany.
because you look at what's been achieved in just a couple of weeks. I think
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
to be honest, we've probably underestimated what's possible this year.
Oh,
I saw
100%.
that on the walk down here, how much everything seems to be coming together already, and we're not even in February.
No, 100%. That's what I'm saying. But I don't think it's going to be overnight. The one we're not doing well on is to make customers smile. I mean, the on-time in full, we're getting there, and it's just one of those things where I'm confident we can get to that. The department error rate under 3%. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but the tickets, I think it's even hitting me by doing the printing off each day, because it forces you to review them. And what's frustrating is not all of them, but the majority of them could have very easily been avoided by and it all comes down to people having accountability. And it was sort of in my head, will it work, will it not? And I know it sounds silly, but doing the names on the mugs has proven that when their name's against something,
When there's some accountability,
they take a lot more care in it. So when this QC form's done and they're having to sign it off pre and post, it's gonna be the prompt to fuck, I better quickly check it because I've put my name against this. And that's what I'm holding on to at the moment.
My thought is, for the first time in a long time, I'm carving out half an hour a week to actually monitor the tickets. So I spend on a Monday when I'm looking at data, I'm looking at them, and that's printing things.
85%.
You're visually putting them up on the board in your morning meeting every day, all the defects that have happened that day. Sales and service are doing the same for their defects. I think just the very fact that we're talking about this stuff will, don't get me wrong, if in 3 months we're still seeing the same defect week after week and nothing's changing by the fact that we're talking, I just think us talking about it and communicating about it is going to solve it.
It's not going to change overnight.
In a whole.
Good week. We are well into it now, and things are going well. We've got lots of exciting things happening. I was reflecting earlier on actually how proud I am really of us as a team, which I'm not that kind of person. Anyone who knows me quite well will know that I'm always looking, somebody could come to me, I can't help it, I don't love this about myself, but someone will come to me and say, I've just scored £1 million, and I'll go, oh great, how comes it wasn't 1.5? I've just always want more. I'm never satisfied, and I'm just, it's something I'm trying to work on, because it's a bit of a toxic trait for some people, but it's just the way I am. I'm always on to the next thing. But I did reflect earlier on a walk on just how spending more time with all the departments, this new thing that I'm doing, where I'm sort of theming a day, I've been feeling so energised when I've spent time in there, because I realise how many exciting things are bubbling away all at the same time. Because like where you walk from one department to another, spend time in different areas, and you hear these conversations and everybody's doing their little bit to contribute to this big engine that's kind of churning, and you can see almost like as a helicopter view above now, as you spend more time hovering around different places, how it's all sort of feeding each other, and this momentum, it's like this flywheel's just really starting to go. And I'm just so excited. I feel so positive. These days are rare for me to feel quite upbeat, but the last day, even yesterday, I just sort of, it really hit me a bit how many exciting things we're on the cusp of across our business, from a brand, from a marketing, from a operations, production, some of the contracts and the clients we're talking to, our processes, just everything. I just feel like we're really maturing as a business. We're really gelling as a team. We're really starting to just make moves. And yeah, I just, don't get me wrong, tomorrow I'll probably be on the floor. But today, I think it's important to document that rare glimpse of positivity, but things are really looking good. I'm really excited. I'm really feeling energised about 2025. and all the stuff that already we've managed to achieve in January. There's stuff that I thought would take 2 months to achieve, and already as a collective, I can feel we're almost there. A few weeks, I'm like, that'll be live. Wow, that'll be over the line. And I feel like we're all levelling up together. I don't think we're under any illusion that this year is going to be tough from the economy's point of view in the UK, but I do think that we've got the best team we've ever had, and we're all fired up and we're all pushing in the same direction. I think our alignment has never been better with what we need to do. So yeah, we had a good day today working with the marketing product team. We've had our huddle, which is a new thing we're doing. Instead of all one-to-ones, we're sort of having a bit of a stand-up, and we're all sort of around the whiteboard agreeing who's doing what, main objectives for the week, how we can interlink and help each other push things along, who's best fit to take lead on things. And we've got some exciting stuff coming with the marketing and the brand stuff. I'm really excited. We're levelling up what we're doing with our content. We're levelling up what we're doing with our website, with our outreach, with our strategic marketing, direct mail. It's exciting. We've got so many exciting things that are coming this year, and I'm feeling very, very buzzed. I'm going to stop rambling now because I've got some work to do. That is what we're doing.
Update from me. So, January achievements. I think January's kind of blown me away with a lot of us actually, with how quick some of the things we were talking about, both when we went to the leadership end of year review and then also at the conference, at how quick we've made so much progress across the board on a lot of different things, both with the lean, with the systems, the processes. We achieved the January revenue target, in fact exceeded it. Obviously still got today, it's our last day, which for January is amazing. Like, it is our highest revenue January on record. So that's really testament to the demand, the work, the fact that yes, there's lots of doom and gloom outside in the economy, but people are still buying and people are still spending even in January, which is probably our second from quietest month of the year. So that really fueled me up for what could be a roller coaster year.
What I'm spending my time doing at the moment is having a little look over our customer care ticket system and our credit note / refund process. One of the things I think we do a better job than some at, but not good enough, is really debriefing at the end of the month within the P&L exactly what the root causes of our defects are and why things go wrong, which ultimately they materialise in the description of a refund or a credit note or a reprint for a customer if we do something wrong. But ultimately what we should be doing is, rather than looking at the line item in the profit and loss and going, we've refunded X this month, X%, or we've reprinted X, we need to be understanding, for the customer's sake, not just why that's happened, but how can we prevent it from happening, because a lot of the things that go on are repeatable. So what we do a better job than most at is we actually do break down the causes. So it's like, what's caused it? And it could be the warehouse packing, it could be a courier fault, it could be administration error in terms of where we've processed it. Maybe we've accidentally put the wrong postcode in when we've processed the order and then it's got shipped to the wrong location. Is it a quality control issue with our printers when they've printed something and they've not QC'd it correctly against the customer's artwork visual as to how their branded mug should look, or their pens or their t-shirts or whatever it may be? So we do that, but I want to go one step deeper than that. And they're very generalised at the moment. And so when we're looking at it, it just says warehouse as an example. So on our pie charts each month, it will say X% of our issues were as a result of our warehouse. Now, to me, that's too broad. We need to go deeper than that at what the specific root cause of it is. I don't profess to know what that's going to be yet, but they're too broad for me. So there's some here that say courier. Well, was it that the courier smashed it? Was it that the courier didn't deliver it? Was it that the courier delivered it to the wrong address? It could be so many different things. I want to go deeper so we can start to spot trends and then start to try and make and hone in on the improvements. Because then when we have our weekly business review as a team, instead of just going, refunds are spiked, we actually can go actionably, who in the room can handle this week the fact that the warehouse have had a jump in refunds, and we can see from the data the reason is that on most orders they're under sending by 10 units, or that the boxes that we're sending it in are not adequately being packaged, so they're turning up with tears in the boxes. Whatever it may be, if we can pinpoint that more and more, we should be able to get to the root of the problem a lot faster. And it's just about like that cause and effect, separating that sort of symptom, the symptom being all the refunds are spiked, from actually what the root cause is. And I think the clearer our data can be in our weekly business review, when we're looking at these graphs and charts and numbers, the better. So yeah, I would strongly urge you, as you grow, to invest in your data dashboards and the metrics that you're looking at week in, week out, to go as deep as you can, and not just look at the outputs of how much sales have we done, what our revenue was, what our invoiced amount was, how much cash have we got coming in. Go deeper as to the stuff that's impacting the customers, because although that might not have impacted the revenue this week or the gross margin this week, it will in weeks to come. And then you'll be sitting there scratching your head going, why have things dipped? Well, actually, that pie was baked 3-4 weeks ago when the warehouse were doing this, or the quality control department were doing this, or the customer care team was taking 5 hours to reply to somebody. Whatever the route may be, I think we should be looking at those routes a lot more, the inputs, as they call them, as Amazon call them, the input metrics, rather than always just focusing on outputs, which is what 99% of us worry about. So yeah, bit long-winded there, but I think it's important. It took me too long to understand that, and more people should be working on it every week. That is what I'm doing. I am just reviewing the designs. We're trying to get a little bit ahead of the game. We've just renewed our agreement with one of the local advertising magazines for Tassie Waste. And if you're new here, Tassie Waste is one of our companies that focuses specifically on man and van, load and go waste removal and rubbish clearance for both domestic and commercial customers across Norfolk. So we just cover the county of Norfolk in the UK. And it's effectively your alternative to a skip. It was set up because of my own personal frustrations with skips, the service level, the cost, the getting them to come and pick the skip up again. So I started that company, and it seems to be going quite well. But interestingly, very different to the totally branded side of things, what's worked really well as a marketing medium is local advertising magazines. So if you're in the trade, or if you are offering a service where over 20% of your customers are residential, then I personally would recommend experimenting with local advertising magazines in and around your county, and not just the village that you operate from. Go as wide and as far as you wish to cover. So for us, that's about an hour and a bit's radius of our location. So we're currently in about 6 magazines every single month, and I'm just reviewing the designs because we're getting a little bit organised. We're doing some of our designs for sort of 4 months ahead and getting them submitted, so that every month we're not chasing our tail with what that design's going to look. Because another thing I don't believe in is putting the same advert month after month after month. It needs to be similar but different. So the imagery needs to change, the offer needs to change. So we always make sure we include a bit of a call to action, a little bit of an incentive. So we put a voucher in there that they can cut out and claim. I'm sure Sam will overlay a bit of a footage of one of our recent examples. And we will change the offer up. Some months we'll offer 10, 15, 20, and we'll change the incentive up. We'll also change the imagery up. The format thereabouts stays the same because you want some sense of familiarity. I'm no expert in doing magazine adverts. I'm quite new to it. We're about 4 months in. And I would say what I have learned is that the results normally start to come after a few months, because I think
1 month they might flick past you, the second month they go, oh, that's that company again. 3 or 4 months in, I think you become a bit more of a staple, and the people that are reading the magazine 1 month might not need you, but when they're seeing that refresh and remind month on month, I think it makes a difference. So we've had good success, and the way we know that is because we're tracking it with the voucher, and you've got to make sure you have some way in there to track the return on investment in spend, especially if you're doing multiple magazines and you're putting quite a significant portion of your marketing budget in to this kind of direct mail approach. So yeah, I'm just reviewing those. That's my little tip on that. If you're in the trade or you're doing anything to domestic customers, give it a try. Magazine adverts, they're not as dead as people think. Print is not as dead as people think. We've had some of our best results on Tassie Waste from this versus Google PPC. Very interesting. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and we'll see you later. Just wrapped up a really good meeting with Tony, who looks after all of our product and procurement side of things, and Cody, who is our operations and production manager. We were looking over adjusting sort of an end of quarter review, as well as just timing in with our end of our financial year for Totally Branded on our in-house production facility stock minimum and maximum hold quantity. So we were having a look at the demand over the prior 12 months, new lines, how well they've performed, what's not been performing very well. We were making those adjustments. We spent a little bit of time with actually exploring some potential new lines. We were looking at a range of new tote bags that we can bring in that we're starting to see an increased demand for. So we were having a little look at upgrading some of the material, changing some of the colour range that we stock and that we hold, just to work in line with demand, and really analysing the data, taking that information and then making decisions with a sprinkle of gut feel in there as well, making sort of conservative but bold moves on some lines, and then we'll re-establish and look back at things in another 3 months at the end of Q1 of 2025 and see how those decisions have performed and whether we need to pull levers back or forth from there. So yeah, no, really good. Love meetings like that, looking at some new stuff, got loads of exciting plans for 2025. So yeah, really good, and it's great to have multiple points of view rather than just one person in, say, purchasing making all the decisions. You're getting different points of view from different people. You know, I always consider myself, I'm quite a customer. I come from very much the customer's point of view. I want everything in stock. I want, you know, all the colours. I want all the lines. You know, I want to be able to deliver everything very quickly. Cody comes from a very much an operational and what's practical point of view in the warehouse, given that space is a contributing factor. And then Tony's obviously very much a procurement and pricing based and margin based led, and that sort of trio coming together as a three, sort of in the middle, sort of giving different points of view, sort of trying to have empathy for someone else's point of view. But in the end, after much discussion, we come to an agreement. We roll the dice, let the data tell us who's the right point of view in 3 months' time, and ultimately, if our customers are pleased with our decisions. So yeah, really good, really enjoyed it. Always feel quite fired up after those meetings. It's been a good day. Recruitment's picking up. I just caught up with Mitch. He's got some great candidates starting to come through for some of our new hiring roles that we're trying to fill for 2025. So we've got some great interviews and even some lined up for second interviews, which is good. So yeah, it feels like we're coming together. Things are on the up, and we're pushing on. It's going to be a good year. That's what we're doing. One of the things that I'm quite proud of, that we've always tried to embody here, is promoting from within. Last year or so, we've not had many promotions because we wasn't scaling as fast as we have in prior years. But this year, we're really looking to, as we grow again, we're looking to really try and embrace that sort of promotions from within and bringing people up that may have started in one role, but that want to move around the business and try different roles and potentially move up into leadership positions. But one of the things that I love to see, and I think it's the best possible thing for our customers as well, is when somebody starts with us, perhaps sort of out of school or college, whatever it may be, in an entry level sort of machine operator position, producing promotional products, and then they, over the years, move up and eventually end up actually talking directly to our customers. Usually our print operators and machine people don't actually get to speak and deliver all of the knowledge that's in their head about producing the promotional products, when actually they're some of the people that have got more knowledge than anyone about what's going to work on a branded mug, what's going to work on pens. And one of the exciting things that's happening is Nath, who you would have seen fairly regularly on the vlogs because he does like to be on the camera, he is expressed actually an interest in, I love the warehouse, I love working in the production team, but I also love the thought of actually getting in front of customers, speaking to people and being within our customer service and sales team. So we've organised today, Nath is doing a bit of shadowing, a bit of a try before you buy, in with the merchandise consultants to see what a bit of a day in the life of talking to our clients and looking after customer accounts is. So I thought we'd go and check in on him and see how he's finding it. That's what I'm doing. Oh, he's with Hanson. How's it going, Nath?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you finding it?
Good.
A bit warmer in here, isn't it?
A lot.
The warehouse.
Honestly, it's freezing in the warehouse, but
what do you reckon?
it's nice going around seeing people's different methods
on
how they do it, because
I've
seen that every station is not the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they've all got their own
just like little uniqueness.
So I think I'm just picking that one out there, leaving that that one there.
What do you think?
It's interesting. Like,
not what you expected, or what you expected?
Not what I was expecting at all, to be honest.
You thought it was like window and door salesman?
Honestly, like I told you previously, when we first talked about sales, I was like, oh, cold calls, let's go on YouTube, what's going on there? But no.
Like the boiler room.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thought, oh, it's good. But no, it looks really
different,
positive, and yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of workload, which is good.
It's heavy. Do you see what I mean about the pressure? Yeah. I mean, to an extent, it's the same but different. With I've got all these orders that have got to be packed, got out the door.
Well, that's just it.
But
I'm
it's
just
a
the
different
next in the
demand.
chain, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm just going back a couple of chains and seeing how.
Yeah, you're going to the beginning, which actually I think we should invest all of us more in doing that.
100%.
Because I think it would help a lot of even people that aren't interested in moving, just to experience a day in the life of someone else. I think that's.
I was just talking to Hans about quotations. I was like, I never really use it before.
Yeah.
But the amount of information on there, which is like on the jobs and on the purchase orders, I can tell way more stuff than I normally would.
It would make your life a hell of a lot easier. Even
so if we've got more people over here, it's only a win-win for me.
No, I agree, especially certain times of the year when it's a bit quieter like now. This is a perfect time for people to shadow and see. Although Hanson doesn't seem very quiet, he's busy boy.
He always is. That's what happens when you're that good.
Yeah, that's it. But no, it's good. You like it?
I do. I actually really do, yeah. I was coming over the road, I was a bit hesitant. I was a bit worried and nervous about it. But now I'm here and I could get used to it.
I was saying to you, with my last job, I was hesitant stepping into another sales role because I've sort of leaving a sales role that I didn't really like.
Yeah, I
It's just a completely different type of sales to that.
It is. It is. It's more like that reactive, building those relationships, as opposed to coming in going, well, what am I going to do? Like, you're not going to go out and hunt. This is more sort of farm. Look after, maintain, and do a nice job. Look after the customer, and then they come back time and time again. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. And that's it. We are wrapping up another week. Just popped over to see the production team's new toy that they've got invested in. They've got themselves a nice new pool table for their break room. They've just transitioned actually to this room. This was where we were keeping all our sort of proactive marketing. The guys have emptied it all out, make a little bit more space, made themselves a bit of a better break room. It needs some work in here. We only lease this building, so we're always a bit sceptical about spending too much money on redecorating it all and everything, because anybody who's leased knows that dilapidations clauses are not fun. So we've been a bit mindful of that, because it's not a forever home here. We're looking to grow and get out of here. But yeah, the guys have got a nice break room, lovely new pool table they've just upgraded from the one before. Looks very good quality, nice to have a little break and get away from it all when you're on your feet all day. So yeah, nice up here, checking it out, and I believe all of the marketing material's been moved because we're transitioning to this new creative marketing room that I believe I showed you a little while ago. So that's in the motion, which has made way for some additional space in here for a bit of a breakout room. So yeah, good to see, and that's it. But we're wrapping up another week done. I'm actually feeling really good. It's been a good week. I'm feeling quite tired because I've got a lot going on. I'm waiting for some property stuff to go through that's going on. I've been having some issues with land registry and it's like pulling teeth. I'm waiting for some financial transactions to go through that are putting me under quite a lot of pressure at the moment, a lot of strain.
So I am feeling a bit worn out, and a little bit tough. Not as tough as I thought I'd be. It shows my resilience is building, my strength is building. But yeah, I can definitely feel it like sitting on the back of my shoulders. Day to day, when I'm sort of just in the thick of the operations, I'm sort of forgetting about it, but I've noticed it in my sleep the last couple of weeks, that I'm really sort of struggling to get off at night because things are playing them off in my mind. So I'm trying to get back to journaling, which is making a big difference every day, just sort of getting out there what's on my mind, my worries, and then trying to look at different points of view of how I can overcome them, creating a bit of a blueprint as to if the worst happens with that, if that money doesn't land, if that doesn't come through, if that contract's not signed in time, if that bank doesn't... I'm working options out so I don't feel as stressed and negative, so that by the time I get into the day, my mind's at peace. I've done a bit of like deep breaths, and then we go into the day. So yeah, feeling a little bit weighed down, but other than that, it's all good. Had a good week, moved a lot forward, loads of exciting things are happening. We've never been busier at this time of year at Totally Branded, which is so exciting. And at Tassie Waste, we're getting more and more commercial opportunities coming in for Norfolk-based companies that need our support with construction waste removal, clearances. So it's really exciting. The pipeline's growing. I'm really optimistic about 2025. Just need to get a couple of these big deals out of the way and things over the line, and then things should start to really be exciting for us this year. So stay tuned. Until next time, goodbye.